All right, thank you, lady. All right, so this is called getting more names and numbers, and I'm gonna talk about this because it's just so you know, like I know like everybody raised their hands that you've been at a point where you felt like you ran out of people to call. You feel like your leads list is like too old or dried up, or you just want to like expand your names list a little bit bigger. And it's everybody's been through it. Okay, I've been through it as a representative, Monica. So you're not alone. You just saw everybody else raise their hands on the Zoom call. So you're not alone in feeling this way. And I've been with the company for 11 years. 11 years now, right? And I've worked with all types of reps, and there's only two reasons why reps quit working here. All right. Hopefully I could be like just kind of honest with you guys, because I don't want anybody to quit working the job. I don't want anybody to not like be a part of our team, because I care about each and every single one of you guys, and I want to work with you guys. I want to help you guys hit your goals. But out of my experience, I've only had representatives quit the job for two reasons, right? First reason is not enough names and numbers, right? They feel like they ran out of names and numbers to call, or not enough income. Only two reasons I've had people ever quit the job for me. And those two go hand in hand. Now, out of that, whenever I come into contact with somebody that says they ran out of people to call or they ran out of numbers, it's not that they actually ran out of names and numbers to call. All right. So let me just kind of like debunk that one. It is impossible. It is impossible. Angela, you might be able to know this. You have some experience on this earth. It's impossible to run out of people to call. What usually ends up happening is they run out of people that they feel comfortable reaching out to. Right? They run out of people that they feel comfortable reaching out to, people that they feel confident in scheduling an appointment, or whatever the reason is. So that's like the first thing to kind of debunk that one. Now, not enough income usually comes from not doing enough appointments, right? The only reason why Daniel Reeder sold $8,000 last week is I think he did like 17 appointments last week, right? So it's like if you're going to do 17 appointments and you sell, and he has a 90% closing ratio, you're going to make a lot of sales. You're going to earn a lot of CPO, and he has thousands of customers at this point. But it's like if you have enough customers to call and you do the calls, you're going to book demos. When you book demos, you're going to make sales. It's Cutco. All right. So I just kind of wanted to start right there, just being in full transparency and letting you guys know, like, this is why I give this talk, because I don't want anybody to ever feel like they're in that position. And the only thing I'm going to ask you guys is to open up your minds a little bit as we go throughout this exercise. Okay. So open up your minds just a little bit as we go throughout this exercise. And the second thing too, the second thing that I also notice is sometimes you guys don't let your managers know where you're at as far as like your names and numbers to call, right? So it's like if you're not communicating, Francis, with Grace and letting her know like exactly where you're at, hey, I have this many names on my list. Like here's where you should get at red alert, is when you only feel like you have 20 people to call. That is like red alert, like almost like I'm dead. Like that's where we need to call an ambulance and resuscitate you, get you in the hospital, get an IV put into you, right? Like some of you guys actually wait until you're like, John, there's 0 people on my list. And, like think about like, this is where communication with your coach or your managers is so important. I don't want to make you come to a meeting and you're sitting there for an hour while we're all making calls. And then you're like, I still don't have anybody on my names list. So I'm not going to do anything during this time. That is a waste of time. And I'm not here to waste your time. I want to help you guys, like make sure you're making the most out of that. But how can I help you if I don't even know what you need help on? Right? It's just like, if I don't know see, I almost did it again. Jacob. All right. If I don't know Jacob, it's just like, I think you're all good. I'm like, all right, Jacob's good. He's going to knock out like 20, 30 calls right now. Right. But so that's the next thing, is like, you got to have great communication with your coach and your manager. All right. So let us know, because we have resources to help you. Right. I've been through this. Grace has been through this. Ayla's been through this. Brent, Austin, like everybody's been through it. So we know how to help you kind of expand from that situation. Okay. So the first resource I'm going to give you guys here is your training manual. And Brent, maybe you can assist me here. I forgot to copy the link and I don't want to exit the screen share. Can you just grab the link to this page? So Brent's going to be dropping links into the chat box. Copy these links, save them into your notes, and we'll post them into the team chat as well after I'm done talking here. But the first thing is to get more names and numbers is first just do a deep dive into your personal contacts. So real quick, everybody, pull out your phones right now and go into your contacts. If you have an iPhone, go all the way down to the bottom where it tells you the amount of contacts that are in your phone. Just the amount of contacts that are in your phone, and then write that number down on your notes. So just go to contacts in my phone and write that number down. You don't even need to share it with me, but just look in your phone, look at how many total contacts you have in your phone, write that number down. And it was crazy. I was, Grace and Ayla were here with me on Monday. We were doing some exercises like this. And I looked at my contacts and I was like, holy crap, I have 1,700 contacts or something like that. I don't even know how I got that many contacts. And I can tell you for sure, without a doubt, with 100% certainty, I have not called all those humans in my contacts. Okay. So now with that being said, it's like, all right, you probably see a number. Some of you guys, that might be a massive number that you even like, I even saw some of your guys' eyes kind of open up a little bit bigger as we were doing this. Some of you guys probably noticed like, okay, I do have a lot of people to call. All right. Now, what probably entered your head was all the reasons why you shouldn't or you're not going to call those people. Remember, keep your minds open. Keep your minds open. Okay. Now, in your Vector Impact app, here's the first thing that I would have you guys do is, did you think back to your first day of training? Some of you guys, that was sooner versus later. Did you actually, that first assignment, go through all your contacts and categorize every single human being in there that is over 30 or older? Okay. So like, that's like the first question. That's the first assignment I would do if you feel like you're in a place where you have not enough names and numbers to call. And the reason why I'm always going to say go back to the well is that is where you're going to be the most comfortable. That is going to be where you're going to be the most confident. And that's where you're going to feel comfortable making mistakes. I want you guys to make those mistakes around like the customers that you know. I want you to be yourself on those appointments so you can really find your demo. Like if you've done less than 100 demos, like think about it, you're still a baby. You still don't even know what you're doing. All right. Some of you guys haven't even got to 50 demos completed yet. So just think about that for a second. Think about how many people you know. And if you haven't even done 50 demos, you should still be on your initial names list. I'll just say that. All right. And I know I was one of those representatives where I got really excited to stop calling my family and friends because I got some referrals. I got some recommendations. So I was like, I'm going to call those ones because it's not as awkward or scary to dial that number of a stranger versus my mom or my mom's best friend or my third cousin that lives in Alabama that I can't understand. You know, it's like I jumped to my referrals too fast. But here's a mistake that most representatives make is they're not experienced enough on the phone to actually schedule those appointments. So if you're still stuttering on the script or you don't have all your objections handled, like you're not able to handle all those objections, now you just basically just burned through a list of leads. And now you're like, oh, I wasn't able to schedule any appointments. I got to restart. Right. So that's like that's the second thing is like, all right, we got to get good on the phone. And that comes through lots of practice. So that's why I want you to exhaust all your resources, call every single family member, call every single close friend's family, aunt, cousin, teacher, coach, mentor, whatever the case may be. So that way you get lots of repetitions. And these are people that you still know. So even if you do make a mistake, Francis, like they're still probably going to set up with you because they're like, well, it's Francis, I know you. Right. But at least you can get the practice and working through those objections. And if everything fails, you can just do this like, all right, bro, like, come on, I'm doing an appointment with you Sunday at 12. Okay. All right. Like I was trying to practice my script, but you're being difficult. All right. Does that work? All right. And then like, that's what you do at like the all else failure. Okay. Now, the second thing before I teach you guys how to get more customers and more referrals. Sorry, I don't know if my numbers are accurate. I know I keep saying first and second. I feel like I've been there forever. The next thing is you got to get good at recommendations and getting referrals and introductions, whatever you want to call them. Because if you're not good at that, why get more customers if you're not going to get referrals from the new ones? Right? Because then guess what hole you're going to find yourself back in? The same exact place. You want to know how I know? I was that guy. I was that guy that came complaining to my manager. I was like, I have no more people to call. I quit. And my manager was like, stop being dumb. Like, he's like, what's your recommendations approach? I was like, what are you talking about? I never used my recommendations approach for my first 15 or 20 appointments I did. I got a lot of recommendations. So it kind of carried me through my first month of the job, because guess what I kept telling everybody, Angela? I was like, hey, Angela, can you just recommend me to 20 people? Thank you. And if they said no, I'm like, why not? You don't like me? Come on, 20 people. They're like, all right, fine, John. All right, and I just smile really big, right? Like when I was like young, I was like, had this cute, big old chunky smile, right? I'm like, please, I need it. I got to pay for school. They're like, all right, fine. Right. And I got 20 every single time. And then eventually when I started seeing people that didn't love me or care about my cute smile, then I struggled, I was like, I didn't get any. So you got to get good at your recommendations approach. I know if you're in Brent's office, Mona, Brent's always on you about that, which is why you do pretty good with your introductions. So you got to get good at that, because it doesn't make sense. No matter how many customers you do get, you're always going to find yourself back in the same situation. That one skill that I learned with introductions helped me for a lifetime. Like I've never had to worry about customers again. Once my manager made me sit in the office and memorize that script word for word, perfect. Okay. All right, the third thing here. All right, now this is where I need you guys to keep an open mind. So by the way, so on your manual, like when you guys go in here to the script, there's a bunch of scripts on here on how to get more phone numbers, right? So this is calling friends to get your parents' numbers. Here's how you can tell if you have a real friend or not. Some of you guys might be like, I don't want to call my friends. I don't think they're going to help me out. Then they probably shouldn't be your friend. Right? It's like, I remember calling my best friend. I was like, hey, bro, can you help me out? I just started this new job. I'm trying to do as many appointments. I get paid just to show them. Nobody has to buy anything. Who would be good to start? And I was like, hey, better yet, for you taking the time to help me out, every time I make a sale, I'll buy you a cheeseburger. Because I know that was my friend's weakness. He loves a good cheeseburger. Right? Guess how many cheeseburgers I bought that guy? 8. I was like, there's a lot of cheeseburgers. But guess how many sales I made? 8 sales, right? Those were 8 sales I would have never got if I didn't ask my homie to help me out. Right. And guess what we did? I was like, yeah, call your aunt. Right? Like I was just like right there next to him. He called his aunt. He was like, hey, aunt, I'm here with my best friend, John. Can you help him out with something? They're like, sure, what's up? He hands the phone to me. I follow my script. I booked the demos. I did that with all my friends, right? So now times that by 8 friends. Right. And I had like little incentives for all my friends. Right. One friend just owed me a favor. I'm like, you don't get anything anytime I sell. Right. You owe me. Right. So I was getting creative to be successful. I cared about my dreams. I cared about my goals that I wanted to hit. So there's scripts in there on how to reach out to friends. There's an email in there, how to reach out to teachers, all that fun stuff. All right. So like I said, keep an open mind. The next thing I want you guys to write down is everybody is either a source or a lead. If you've been working with me, you've heard me talk about that. Everybody's either a source or a lead. So what a source is, for those of you guys that are younger, it might be your friends that are under 30, under 25. Like they're not qualified people for you to present to, but guess who is? Their parents, their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles, their cousins, etc. Right? So they can get you more leads. Now, if they're a lead, that means they're the 30 plus and working, right? You can present to those people. And just think about how many people we come into contact on a daily basis. And it's your choice what you do with that interaction at the end of the day, but it's like, really, there's no excuse. Like, let's just think about it like this. Let's say you're in a life or death situation. Lights are about to get turned off next week if you don't do 10 appointments. What are you going to do? Everybody all of a sudden becomes a lead, right? The grocery store clerk that's super nice and you see her kind of all the time, right? You can book a demo, right? Brent, we used to do scavenger hunts.
Oh my God.
We used to do scavenger hunts in our office, and one of the scavenger hunts were, Angela, to schedule an appointment with a random stranger. And guess how many times everybody completed that scavenger hunt? All the time. And they would like record it, and it's always super easy. We used to have people sell sets out of just scheduling a demo with a random stranger in the Mexican food place line, right? At that place by the office. So it's like everybody's either a lead or a source. You want to know why I love Girl Scouts? They're really freaking good at their job, right? Those girls are passionate. They stand outside stores all day and talk to probably 1,000 people to sell their cookies. And guess how many people say no? Probably like 70% of them, maybe more. I don't know, but it's like they still have a smile. They're like, and they ask every single person. So it's just like, how bad do you want to succeed? How bad? Right? So that's on the extreme end of the spectrum. Like hopefully no one has to get to that point where you're just waiting outside a store like, hey, you want to buy knives? You want to buy Cutco? But guess what? I bet you would sell some Cutco. We have 16 million customers. That's a lot of freaking humans. All right. So let me keep going here. All right. So keep an open mind. Social media.
Oh yeah.
I don't care about your opinions on social media. Some of you guys have it. Some of you guys love it. Some of you guys hate it. Whatever the case may be, we have social media scripts. We have a Facebook script, messages, getting people interacted. We have a Nextdoor script. Ayla was posted on Nextdoor. We heard from was this last week?
Yeah.
It was last week. There was a speaker at our special meeting last week, talked about Nextdoor. Literally same night or next day, Ayla posted the Nextdoor script. Next day, she had somebody talking about how much they love their Cutco. Underneath that, had a guy who was like interested automatically. He was like, hey, how much is a set? Can I do payment plans? And it just kind of just like started spiraling out of control from there. So on here, there's a Nextdoor script. Ayla, maybe you can reshare your Nextdoor post that you did last week. She'll reshare it into the team chat. So this app called Nextdoor, it's based off of your neighborhood. So you go to your neighborhood, you put in your address, set up an account, and you just throw up a post, and you're gonna get some leads. Brent just mentioned he got a flatware chest from posting on Nextdoor. That's almost a $2,000 order. Grace got her first service call through Nextdoor. We even have a LinkedIn script at the bottom of this as well. So again, it's like, are we really utilizing all of our resources? So again, when I hear people say, I don't have anybody to call, that's why I laugh. And some of you guys are probably giving like really short answers. I'm like, no, you don't. Like, you have plenty of people, right? But here's your long-winded explanation to why. All right. Now, when we look at social media, all right, this is Grace's Snapchat. Go to your Snapchat friends. So I want you guys to do this. If you have Snapchat, go to your Snapchat friends, write down how many friends you have on Snapchat. On Instagram, how many followers do you have on Instagram? And let's just use Instagram for an example. I understand you don't know every single person that follows you, or you don't like every single person that follows you, or whatever the case may be. But let's just say we took 10%. What is 10% of that? 100? 100 people. Let's just say you just like messaged 100 people. That's automatically 100 names onto your names list right now. Like, what does that look like if you just sent out 100 DMs to old friends, close friends, whatever the case may be? Chances are you're going to run into somebody that's already had Cutco. They're like, oh yeah, I know about Cutco. Yeah, my mom has some stuff. She needs to buy more. Like, I'm sure there's a high chance you run into somebody.
Yeah, one of my Facebook people just like, great knives. I was like, you have Cutco?
Perfect.
What?
It just happened to Ayla. All right, it just happened to Ayla. All right, right here on Facebook, I went into my Facebook friends. So I have 1,500 friends. I can tell you, all these people, I've never done 1,500 demos. Like, if I had to go back into the field and start selling Cutco again, this is where I would start. I'd be starting on Facebook, right? Like, you can see my mom right there. I have 63 mutual connections with my mom. I guarantee you, I have not done demos with all those connections.
Right.
Actually, we just had a baby shower on Saturday, and I literally got 3 leads at the baby shower. This is how people introduce me at family events now. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is John. This is the Cutco guy. This is my nephew. He's the Cutco guy." My wife's aunt that I like never met before. She's like, "Yeah, I heard you sell Cutco. I need to buy a set." I'm like, "Great. I'm gonna do some appointments next week. I'll call you." All right. Then I had another lady. She was like, "Hey," she brought her knife to the baby shower. She's like, "Can you sharpen this knife for me?" I'm like, "No, I'm not working right now." Right. I was like, "I'll call you later." Right. So it's just like, what if I just took the time to just send 150 messages on Facebook? Like, what does that look like? Right. And then I don't know what this follower thing means on Facebook, but I guess there's other things right there. So, like social media is just something that's just very undervalued, very underutilized. So keep an open mind. Am I saying you have to do all these things? No, but I don't want to hear you say, I don't have anybody to call. I don't have anybody to reach out to. So again, let me just kind of recap here. First things first is go into your Vector Impact app and finish sorting your contacts if you never like actually went through every single contact. Add all the people that are over 30. All the people that are over 30, add them over to your prospects tab. Then you'll see your new number. Next from there, it's like look on social media, look in your personal contacts if it didn't all merge over, right? Figure out all the things you guys can do on social media, reaching out to old friends, old family, all that great stuff. And here's the example the last example I'm going to give you guys. Use this as an opportunity to redo your Fast Start contest. Because you guys didn't do this in your Fast Start, right? Like the biggest mistake I made was I didn't reach out to every single human I knew in my first 10 days. So it's like redo your Fast Start contest. Give yourself a new restart, new blitz, and communicate that with me. I would love to know like what your new goal is. Like if you're Jacob, right? Jacob, I just keep picking on you because I see you first on my screen here. If you're Jacob, it's like, all right, I'm coming back into selling Cutco. I'm going to redo my Fast Start contest. I'm going to go hard for a week. I'm going to go hard for 2 weeks, try to reach out to every single human that I know and try to book as many appointments as I can. And then the main focus out of those appointments is to get more leads. Like that is the number one thing there is like, I need to get more demos. All right. I need to get more demos. I need to get more leads. So it's like, and then it's like, once you from here on out, work on your introductions, work on your recommendations. So that way, when you do get those leads or when you do those demos, you can get a ton of leads and then work on your phone skills. So that way, when you do make those calls, you can convert those leads into real appointments. From there, if you do 20 appointments in a week, like you won't fail. Cool. Did this help out a little bit?
Oh yeah.
All right, perfect. Perfect. Any questions? Message, feel free to unmute or post in the chat box if you have any questions, thoughts,
I have a question.
emotional outbursts.
Ah.
I have a question.
Monica. Yes, Monica.
Is it possible to follow you people that are have social media? Because I also have social media and we can help each other with social media, because honestly I have social media, but I have like a thing that it just feels weird, and I think I'm at that point. But in other social media, I'm right there right away. I already talked to somebody that sells tumblers,
Mm-hmm.
and
so
she referred me to other people, and I'm ready. I think I'm kind of like a little ahead of you guys of what you were telling us earlier.
good. So here's the thing with social media. It's a numbers game, right? So it's just like, yeah, just message everyone. Don't be hesitant on it. Don't feel weird about it. Just message everybody. All right. And I think that's the best tip that I'll give you, because you guys will be surprised. You're going to get a lot more positive feedback, more than anything. right? It's like once you start doing this, you're gonna actually connect with a lot of people. You know, people are gonna be checking in on you, like, oh, how are you doing? You know, because like let's just think about it. Like sometimes like we had friends from high school that like the friendship never ended. It's just like we just moved on to different chapters and just kind of stopped talking, right? But it's just like there was no like ill will. It's just like it just kind of happens as you get older, right? You just can't talk to everybody, right? I can't talk to those 1,500 people every day, right? So it's just like just message everybody. Just message everybody. Don't be picky. Have an open mind with it. All right, have an open mind with it. Grace, what was your question?
It's not really a question as much. On Nextdoor, I just think it's good to be aware of certain guidelines because, like, it's easy to get flagged if you're advertising in the wrong neighborhood or the wrong place.
Got it. So Grace was just mentioning, like with Nextdoor, there's some guidelines. So Grace and Ayla, I'm gonna have them be the Nextdoor experts. So before you do a Nextdoor post, message or tag Grace and Ayla to get their like feedback to make sure it looks good, so you don't get flagged or taken down.
Put it in the coaching chat.
Yeah, put it in your coaching chat. Okay. So here's the last thing. Here's my last ask out of all of you guys. Can you guys go on your Instagram real quick and follow our office page? So the IE opportunity. It's called IE opportunity. I should have put it up here because Ayla does fantastic work. She does posts and updates, and she's going to highlight Tobias's spotlight. So we want to make people feel good. And she's going to be reaching out to some of you guys to spotlight you, especially if you're like new on the team. We're going to welcome all the newbies on the Instagram. So it's called IE opportunity. You'll see a little crest with an IE in the middle of it, and follow and like the last post for us. Thank you. I appreciate it. And you guys are awesome. And then that way we can tag you guys in posts and things like that in the future. All right.
I just have a quick question.
I have a quick answer.
Do you guys do like bilingual, like a PowerPoint, like for Spanish speaking customers, potential customers?
See. Ask Grace.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Yep. Post it in the post that question in your coaching chat, so that way we don't forget and we can send it all to you in your coaching chat.
I don't have Instagram, but I have Facebook, Snapchat, and TikTok. And TikTok I do a lot.
I don't like TikTok, but well, I don't have a TikTok. We don't have an office TikTok, do we?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We
But
should.
we do have a Facebook page on just type in East Riverside Vector, and then you can connect with us on Facebook.
I have a question.
Jacob,
Yes,
course.
sir.
anything for you?
What was the Instagram handle again? I already forgot.
IE opportunity.
Facebook?
We do have a Facebook. East Riverside Vector. All right, you guys. Other than that, we are all done for tonight. Have a great night. Feel free to stick on after if you want to hang out or ask more questions. But other than that, you guys are good to go. Hopefully some of that was of value to you guys. And then I'll post all the links for you guys in the WhatsApp team chat. Adios. Adios.
Bye, everyone. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Have a good one, y'all.
Bye.
Mariella.
Bye.
Adios.
Mariella, I feel like I was looking for you at the beginning of the team meeting for something, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I got here a little late.
All right, I can't remember what it was, but if I do remember, I'll let you know.
Alrighty then.
Ted Lasso, episode 2.
You don't have your Apple TV here.
We can't play it?
No. Because you were on here. Oh, actually, we could play it, but I'm not staying.
Episode 2. They're playing against Chelsea, man. It's their first game in the Premier League. They're gonna get destroyed.
Oh, is it?
Might be a good learning lesson.
I have 8 fucking
Look,
Eight.
man, that's what we're talking about, eh? Don't let
Ayla's fired up, you
anyone-
guys.
Don't let anyone ever get in front of you. when they
Ayla
say,
is
"You
fired
got no
up.
one to see." That thought has come across all minds, and look at, you are proving past it. Power, power, woman, power.
Are you guys doing a team night?
Power, huh?
Brad,
Hello.
you're in charge of that, sir.
In charge.
All your driving,
Hmm.
you know, you deserve a drive.
I mean, I have a
No.
game for in
You're
person.
my Brad for today.
Actually, you guys are playing Monopoly Deal.
Okay.
Oh, Monopoly Deal.
I'm sorry. So if you're on Zoom, you're not partaking in tonight's team night.
You can play Mau Mau.
Intro.
No,
I will
Monopoly
never
deal,
have
man.
Have a good one.
All right. Hey, have a great night, Brad. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Brad.
Austin.
Gary,
Alrighty, sounds good.
Have a good one.
Have
did
a good
you have
one.
something, Gary, or were you just saying bye?
Oh no, I was saying have a good one.
Yeah, you
All
guys
right,
are basically-
adios.
It's like Uno. but
Adios.
I knew it.
On the spin.
I knew it and I hate it.
Oh,
Brent, no,